Somebody's got to take out the trash. Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. In today's pick a card style reading, we are going to be finding out what trash needs to be taken out in your life. So we have the options here I'll put up on the screen. Group number 1 is the garbage bag. Group number 2 is the crushed pop can. And group number 3 is the banana peel. So select the image or images that feel like they are calling to you and use the timestamps in the description box or the chapter notes below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings. And we'll see you there. Alright, hi group number 1, you guys chose the garbage bag, and today's reading was inspired by the fact that I woke up in a very bad mood. I don't know what it was, it's just like things have been not working today, and so my way of dealing with that was like, okay, what mental trash do I need to take out? What physically do I need to clean in my house? Literally taking out the trash and metaphorically. So we're going to find out what you need to get rid of right now, group number 1, and how to do that. So the first thing I want to note is that you guys chose the garbage bag, the full garbage bag. So this gives me an indication, and I'm already starting to pick up on psychically and energetically some energy that you've kind of already sealed away. You know, it's like you identified that you didn't need that. You put it in the trash bag, but it's kind of just been sitting around. Maybe you've been procrastinating about finally throwing it out, and it's just been kind of like stinking up the joint, you know? So let's find out some information. I'm actually going to start with the coffee cup oracle, and we're going to find out what this is that you've kind of been letting sit around. And it's, yeah, I'm getting like stink lines coming off of this garbage bag, almost like Linus, you know, in Charlie Brown. It's like there's stink lines, so it's not pleasant. Oh, interesting. You have witch with magic and curse. Yeah, this is why it's trash. This is hashtag trash. This needs to get removed from your life. This is some kind of energy, negative energy that has been accumulating over a period of time. I think subconsciously you realized this wasn't good, and so you put it in this garbage bag but didn't take it out. Maybe you didn't know how to dispose of it. Maybe you didn't know how to take it out energetically, and it could have just been sitting around, and it's creating like negative karma almost, and it can show up like a curse. And you know, you can see the magic kind of coming off of her hand there. I think that's her hand. Yeah, it's like stink lines. Same thing. So it's like, this is not something that's pleasant. It needs to be gotten rid of. Unfolding surprise and an envelope. I feel like somebody sent you something. Because when I think of envelopes, it's like a message that's being sent to you. And since we have magic and curse here with the witch, this could have been like negative energy that somebody sent your way. Endings and beginnings with the wheel. So this is a good indication that that's over. Or you're going to be ending it right now because you're taking out that trash. But there's something here that like it's from your past. It feels, honestly, it feels evil. And I don't say that lightly, but that's why it's like toxic. That's why it's giving off so much negative energy. That's why you unconsciously were like, I need to do this right now. I need to like encapsulate it and hide it away. This is really cool. There's actually a parade of horses walking by outside my window. That is so freaking random. I live in the country, and there's like a little trail right behind my house, and I can see it through my window, and there was just two horses being led by people. Okay, so when I think of that, somebody may have had you in like you were beholden to them. They were leading you. They kind of forced you to do something. And I think maybe you like got free from that, or you started steering your own ship, and they didn't like that. So they sent you this negative energy. And somebody doesn't have to be a witch to send you negative energy, okay? Like people can do this and do this all the time, either intentionally or unintentionally. Intentionally is thinking about that person and being like, you know, screw them, and sending that energy toward them. Or I hope that you fail, you know, like that. That's intentionally sending you negative energy. Unintentionally sending you negative energy is just dwelling on things or like thinking negatively about you. Those are the types of things that can send that bad vibes situation. Interesting. You have the dog with loyalty and determination. And when I think about dogs, I think about being like led on a leash as well, which is exactly what those horses were. They were being led by people on a leash. So it's like being like wanting to serve a master But at the same time, it's like if that person doesn't have your best interests at heart, then that can be very, very, like a very negative situation. And I feel like this is kind of why it needs to go out. Let's get tarot. This is why this energy needs to go. It's because this person tried to like lead you or control you in some way. And then if you tried to end it, if you tried to walk away, it's like they kept sending you negative energy. Temperance. I heard transmutation. Yeah, so you need to figure out how to transmute this, and we're gonna give some guidance on that here in this reading. But there's something here that you need to transmute because it has been affecting you. And even though you've kind of walled this off in a sense, maybe suppressed it, maybe just kind of put it in the back of your mind or in the back of your energy field, it's like it needs to actually be taken out because it's just kind of sitting there and it's like rotting. So the Temperance card is here to help you to transmute it. It's here to help you to combat that by doing some healing work. You have the Nine of Cups. I feel like freedom is going to be the outcome. Like personal freedom, you being able to determine what you want in your life and being able to kind of make things happen for yourself. You won't be reliant on anyone else because that's what I'm feeling. Is like this person kept you dependent on them in some way, energetically or maybe even physically. And now you're transmuting that so that you can create your own happiness. You're not reliant on that person anymore. And then they don't have access to your energy field anymore. But it's like, honestly, you know what I'm seeing here with the crystal ball? It's reminding me of I think it's called a Palanthea from Lord of the Rings. They're the magic seeing orbs. And when Pippin looks into it, because he's so curious, Sauron stares back. Okay, so like this is some pretty major level evil. And this person has been watching you, or they've been trying to find you, trying to send you, like maybe like showing up at your house. This is such weird energy, you guys. They're like determined to control you in some way and have power over you. This is a very negative person. And I think it's someone from your past, because I'm getting past energy with this. It's someone from your past. And if you pulled away from them, they did not like that. You have the Wheel of Fortune. You know, you have the wheel, and then you have the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like you're changing your own fate here. You're taking control of your luck. Like you're changing something. But if you felt like you were cursed and you had bad luck and things just didn't work out for you, it's actually because this person was projecting their shit onto you. And you kind of stored that up and kept it in the back for whatever reason. Maybe, again, I keep getting this message of like you didn't know how to get rid of it fully. So you just kind of put it on the back burner until a time that you could deal with it. And it's going to be about transmutation. And the transmutation comes through you being loyal to yourself and determined to create your own happiness. So it's like getting out of this energetic dependency on this person that I think this person honestly like created. They created this dependency with you. They made you feel dependent on them. And then they wanted to keep you like that for as long as possible because that kind of wrapped your fate up with theirs. And it's like they could feed off of you and they could dump all their garbage into you. But it's like you saw something for what it was. You got like an inside look at this at one point is what they're showing me. And you realized, oh my God, that's not at all okay. Like that's not good. And I don't want that. So this light bulb moment happened and you're like, get me the F out of here. Three of Pentacles. Immediately when I looked at this card, I actually saw the little people in Gulliver's Travels tying the giant down, like the giant. He's not a giant. He's regular sized human, but to them, he's a giant. So again, I feel like this person saw your power and they tried to control you and limit you. And it's like, you didn't know you didn't realize how strong you were. And so they took advantage of that and they kept you feeling small. And they kept you tied down Yeah, I keep getting this energy of like they tied you down. You could have been financially dependent on them, or you could have been like, yeah, you could have lived with them. This could have been like, let's say, for example, a parent or a roommate or a business associate or a boss. It's like you were beholden to them in some way, and you were even on some level loyal to them. Again, it could have been like a family situation, but it's also emotional. Like you felt that you were dependent on them for your happiness and your financial stability, something like that. But they were really just pulling the strings here. 3 of Wands. 2 threes, 3 of Pentacles and 3 of Wands. I just heard escape. I feel like you kind of like plotted your escape, and then you took action on that and you got yourself out. Maybe you quit the job, or you moved out of your family home, or you estranged yourself from that family member or members, or you disconnected from that partnership. Like maybe it was a boyfriend or girlfriend and you left, something like that. It's like you did something physically and got yourself out of that situation, but the energy of that is still kicking around because it needs to be transmuted. So let's talk about that. Knight of Swords. So the transmutation needs to happen predominantly in the mind. And this is like warrior energy. It's kind of like you need to go in there and be decked out in armor. It's like put on your hazmat suit, you know, and go deal with that toxic waste. But you've got to protect yourself first, which means that you need to get very clear on what you're doing. So let's get information about that. What does group number 1 need to do to transmute this? King of Pentacles. You've got to own your own power. You've got to feel confident in your ability to create security in your own life, especially financially, because I was getting that message from these 2 cards that you were possibly financially dependent on them, or like for safety or something like that. So you need to really establish your own foundation, being able to pay your own rent or buy your own groceries or have a job that you enjoy, or something like that. Oh, look at that. The candle just went out. Oh, I won't get a new one. It needs to be out. 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, you've got to balance your own finances, because I feel like this person made you emotionally and physically dependent on them because you felt like you couldn't sustain yourself. But it's like you didn't know your own strength. And that's why Spirit has brought you to this reading today, so that you can understand and own your power. Queen of Wands on the bottom. Yeah, it's like own your power and own your shadow. That's what really stood out to me there, was the shadow in behind her. So they tried to put out your light so that you wouldn't see the shadow. And they tried to control you, and they tried to keep you stuck and dependent. So to get out of this, you need to take responsibility for your own luck and fate. You need to put in the work to be able to create a stable foundation for yourself. Physically, financially, your sense of security. And then as a result of that sense of security and you being loyal to yourself and your own growth and your own goals, then you see this personal happiness develop, and you learn to be able to balance these things out. But I feel like this person took advantage of you because you were a bit imbalanced, and they saw that and they were like, okay, I can make this person do what I want. I can control them. Especially if you were loyal to them. Misplaced loyalty, I just heard. Yeah, misplaced loyalty. They didn't deserve your loyalty, but you gave it anyway. Okay, so group number 1. Spirit is recommending that you armor yourself, okay? So armor yourself in the mind, in the mental space. Don't go into this thinking, okay, you know, there's just like this one cord that I need to cut. Because what they're showing me is like, this is a potentially harmful energy. So you do have to be careful about how you take it out. It's not like you just cut a cord and you're done with it, or you clear the karmic pattern and you're done with it. For some reason, this waste is like nuclear. It's like radioactive, you know? And that has to be disposed of in a very special way. So they want you to make sure that you're fully protected before you go in and try to get rid of this. And what they're recommending is that you hone your mind. They're actually showing me psychically somebody sharpening a sword or sharpening an axe. So it's like you need to be able to be very clear in your mind and very strong. So you have to have this internal sense of stability, and you also have to have that reflect out on the outside. So if you're not feeling fully stable financially, then it's not time yet. You have to wait until you are fully on your feet and you've got the ground underneath you and you're really confident in your ability to maintain that. Only then will you be stable enough to suit up and go in and deal with this yucky, whatever this is, because it does need to be handled with care, because it is quite toxic. Okay. So the other thing you can do is to focus on what brings you joy. They want you to arm yourself with joy. So in the meantime, find the little things that make you happy and focus in a very determined way on those things, because it's almost like bringing in flowers. They were showing me the flowers in the temperance card, bringing in flowers to combat the smell of that toxic waste. It's not going to cover it up. It's not a permanent solution, but they do want you to focus on that so that the scent of the flowers in this metaphor are helping you to experience more joy. So you're protected in that way. The other side of it is then once you're stable, once you've got that foundation under your feet and you can rely fully on yourself and you feel really independent, then you can go back into that Pandora's box that's holding that garbage bag and that magic and that curse and that evil energy. And then you can get rid of it once and for all. But it's like they want you to pay attention to the details. They're showing me the mice in these two cards, and the mice are like little things that they don't want you to overlook, because it's like the devil's in the details here. So they really want you to focus on the details of this situation and not overlook anything. It's like just because it's small doesn't mean it's not powerful. Yeah, it's like the little people in Gulliver's Travels being able to take down the giant. And it's kind of like germs is what they're showing me. It's like a germ can get into your system, or a virus can get into your system, and it can like take the whole thing down. Can take you down, lay you out in bed for like a week or two. It's that kind of thing. So it's like, don't underestimate something small, because that will be your downfall. They want you to really be clear about this. Like, yes, you're powerful, and yes, you're big, and that means you will succeed here. You just need to be aware that it's sometimes it can make it so that you overlook certain things, Okay, let me see if there's anything else that they want you to know. Yes, they just said sunny disposition, and they took me to this here, the sunflower that she's sitting on. Yeah, so sunny disposition, having a positive outlook and a positive mindset is going to help you get rid of this as well. That's how you're going to sharpen the blade of your mind to be able to go in and deal with this. The hanged cat is underneath here. Yeah, you've been like strung up by this person, very dependent on them and immobilized. They've been leading you on that leash, but it's time to take control of your own ship again. So essentially, group number 1, you will know when you're ready to go in and deal with this toxic waste when you feel fully stable. Obviously, we're all going to have off days, like this was one of them for me. Got up this morning, it was just like, everything's kind of off. That's fine, but it's more like in the weeks and months to come, as you really gain that sense of stability and you see that a little bit more steady in your life, and you feel that internally, and you're just generally more optimistic, you're seeing the lighter side of everything, and you're feeling more secure in yourself, your soul is going to tell you when you're ready, okay? So you don't have to look to a reading or anything like that to let you know. Your soul's going to let you know when you're ready, and you will just suit up. You will armor up, you'll put on that defense, and you'll go in and you'll finally deal with the eradication and the removal of that waste. And you might want to do that through some kind of ritual as well, because I think this person may have used ritual again, either intentionally or unintentionally. And so to undo that curse, it's again using ritual to remove it. All right, so that's what I have for you. That's the trash that needs to be taken out. This one's pretty serious. I kind of wasn't expecting that. It's like a bit of a heavy reading, but I'm glad that we got this information so that you can kind of have an awareness of what's going on underneath the surface if this resonates for you. If it doesn't and it's evoking fear within you, then it's just not for you. Okay, so if you came to this reading and you're like, oh my God, I had no idea this was there and I'm very afraid now, like, no. Don't. Just stop. Leave it there. This is not your reading. This is for people who already know what I'm talking about. You've lived this situation. You're aware of this on some level, and this was just like the final, oh, okay, right, that makes sense. I see the full picture now, even though you've already got some awareness of this. Okay, so if that's how this applies, then that is for you, and Spirit wants you to know that you are protected and you are going to be able to transmute this. It's actually part of your fate. It's like part of destiny to be able to do this for yourself, to overcome the monster, that's like one of the story arcs of the hero's journey, is the overcoming the monster story. So that's kind of like what we see in, for example, Lord of the Rings, although that can also be a quest. So it's like that, right? You're on a quest, you're overcoming the monster, and you're going to do it through your own independence and personal stability and your own happiness and joy. Okay, so that's what I see for you, group number 1. I hope this reading resonates. If you felt called to any of the others, feel free to check those out as well. And if not, then we will see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number 2. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose the crushed pop can. Okay, so we're gonna find out what it is that you have kind of kicking around, like literally kicking the can. I just realized as I said that needs to be gotten rid of. In this case, recycled, right? We don't want to garbage pop cans. We want to recycle them. So let's find out what this means. I'm already picking up, it's like kick the can, kind of feels like kicking something out of your life. Something it's almost like it's served its purpose and you're like, okay, I'm done with it. Like, I don't need this anymore. You have envy and protection with the eye. Maybe this is, well, no, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I was going to start speculating, but I actually just want to let the energy tell me what this is. That's what I'm feeling intuitively. Gate, opportunities and home. Okay. The gate card actually came out when I was pre-shuffling and I put it back in. So here it is again for you, group number 2. So this could have something to do with protecting your home, giving someone the boot or something the boot from your home. It's like something that has been lingering around and it's time for it to go. Inheritance, male and old man. The old man card with the house in the back there. It's like inheriting a house. Maybe you actually inherited a house. Or there's something about a house. Yeah, I'm getting that. Something about a house that you're needing to protect, or you're needing to like give something the boot out of that house, out of your house. Groom, husband, marriage. This could be a partner that you are kind of like, this relationship has, it's kind of come to a point where it can't move forward anymore. Maybe it's like, it's kind of served its purpose. You learned what you needed to learn from this relationship, and it's like it's kind of run its course and it's done, and you need to give this person the boot. Maybe they're not healthy for you. But when I'm looking at husband and marriage and inheritance and male, this could be like something about a house. Legal. It's like something legal about a house. That's what I'm getting from it. So it could be like by marriage, you're getting something or you got something. I'm getting like something from the past. This could even be kind of like in your ancestral line. Could be on the, like if you're married, it could be on your husband's side. And by marriage, you're now like connected to that karma or to that. It does, I was going to say it's like karma, but it feels like physical property. But it's like there's energy attached to that is lower vibrational, and that's why it needs to be taken out. It's Stability and security. Yeah, it's to do with like a home, because that's stability and security. That's like your source of stability and security. Huh. What is this? Let's get some tarot cards. Maybe we'll get a little bit more information here. I just feel like group number 2, that there's something going on here about legal things to do with a house, and it's kind of like it's served its purpose. Maybe the home is no longer for you anymore. Maybe you're meant to move. You have the Star card. I just heard recovery. 7 of Wands. This could be like recovery from some kind of a legal battle. I feel like there was like an attack on your home, or maybe your stability and security were like crushed. Like that pop can got just like crushed. Because what comes before the Star card in the tarot is the Tower. And the Tower in this case could be related to the home. And it's like the tower crumbled. So maybe your sense of stability and security were taken from you in some way, or something happened with a home and it just like fell apart. Maybe there was people who, let's say for example, this is just an example, it doesn't have to apply to you, but let's say for example you married someone and then they passed away and they left the house to you, or like their grandparent left the house to your husband or something like that, and then the rest of the family came after it and they wanted it for themselves, and you had to really like protect yourself from the envy of these people and their attempts to get it from you, because they wanted the opportunity that home entailed through the inheritance. And it's like this seriously caused a lot of instability and a lack of security, and it felt like there was constantly, you know, something attacking you energetically or even verbally, like they sending negative emails or like showing up at your house and being like, this is not okay. So this is just the kind of energy of it. It doesn't have to be literally that, but it's like, it feels like that. Knight of Wands. And it's like you had to defend yourself here is what I'm seeing. You had to defend yourself and your property. They just said you had to defend your property. Ace of Wands. I just feel like you were always on guard. The Moon card. You were always on guard. Things were very unstable. I just heard this person did not have your best interests at heart. But it's like I'm not seeing who this person is or was. The only thing that I'm getting really strongly is that there was some kind of a dispute over or in a home. And something about property and the energy of being like attacked. You know, this could also be something else. This kind of message was coming through in the beginning when I saw the Gate card. Okay, this could be something that like energetically is going on in your home and you need to protect. You basically need to like cleanse your home and protect your home. This could be negative energy coming from neighbors or from, like I said, like family members or something like that, or even people from the past. Energy can leave imprints, right? And especially in homes. And I used to do this. I used to do Akashic property readings for people. I don't offer those anymore, but I'd get a read on what was going on energetically in the house. Are there earthbound souls? Are there portal ways? Are there gateways? Sometimes that can be really disruptive, like a gateway in the home. It's kind of like living with a superhighway going through the middle of your house. It's very disruptive and it can let in a lot of energy that's not meant to be there. So there can be like land designation issues, like if the land was used as a burial ground at some point or a sacred site, or it maybe like the house had something bad happen in it, or like there's a lot of negative energy being projected from neighbors or things like that. That will all show up energetically in the Akashic blueprint of the property, and it needs to be cleared, and it needs to be like a ring of protection needs to be put around and about the house so that that doesn't happen. Any portalways need to be closed, gateways need to be closed, earthbound souls need to be removed from the home. All of those things need to happen. And I'm kind of seeing that it could be something like that if it's not something physical, legal, or to do with an inheritance or property or like anything yeah, like through the court system, then it could be that energetically. But it's like, yeah, this has been like a serious kind of influence, whichever way. It's like it's really kind of left you being on your guard. I keep seeing all these cats kind of like looking over their shoulder. It's like looking over your shoulder because you're like, something's gonna like jump out and try and get me, you know, because the stability was not there. The sense of security was not there because there was a need for this protection. The gate needed to be closed. There maybe was like a lack of boundaries. Something like that. They really want you to use your intuition with this because the Moon card and the Queen of Cups are, first of all, they're both Pisces energy, and Pisces rules the 12th house, which is like recovery. It's isolation. It can be about addictions. It can be about subconscious healing. Yeah. But in its highest expression, it shows you intuitively what's going on. It's like feeling into the situation and being able to find the information beyond the conscious mind. It's like diving into the energetic realms and being able to find that there, what you're looking for, what the information is you need. So got the 3 of Cups on the bottom. Yeah, it could have been like inviting people into your home and then them being envious of you or something like that and projecting that energy onto you. So for group number 2, I feel like you kind of need to do a walkthrough of your house, okay? And just energetically feel into all the nooks and crannies. Like go into all of the closets you don't normally go into. Check your mirrors, check the objects in your home, and kind of like do like a body scan over them. You know what I mean? Like use your arm almost as like a security wand and check for the beep, beep, beeps, you know? It's like beep, 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 there's a weapon in there. It's that kind of thing, but just doing it intuitively. So kind of walk around your house and feel how you feel in each room, in each space, connecting to each object, because there's going to be something that will give you a little bit of a warning sign and you'll feel, oh, there's something off in this room, or there's something off in this thing, or whatever it is. It could have been like a physical thing that you inherited, not necessarily a home. It could be like something small, and then you brought it into your home and it's like holding this negative energy. Or maybe somebody else wants it, and again, there's like envy being projected. There's so many different possibilities, and it's kind of veiled to me, but it's to do with your security, and they want you to protect your home. That's what I'm seeing here, and that's why it's like giving this the boot is going to be helpful. So maybe it's like something that just doesn't feel right for you, and you come across it and you're like, oh, okay, that needs to go to the thrift store, or that needs to go in the recycling bin or the garbage, something like that. It's going to help to protect you more because you're going to be aware of what's going on energetically. And if this is interpersonal stuff, like people are actually projecting envy at you or like attacking you, coming at you about something, then this is setting interpersonal boundaries and being very clear about who you will and will not allow into your space. Maybe getting some legal help, although I don't see any other legal cards here, but I'm just getting that energy, so I have to say it. It's like, don't invite anybody into your home who you don't fully trust, because it's kind of like the whole vampire mythology. It's like if you let them cross the threshold, their energy enters into the space and it can kind of like take root there, and you don't want that. So don't let people in your home that you don't fully trust energetically. And if this is a relationship that needs to go, maybe you walk around the house and you're like, what's off in here? And every time you go into the room that your spouse is in, your little red flag radar goes off, like beep, 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 beep. It's like, oh shit. It's like, it's you. Uh-oh. You know, then you kind of need to make some decisions. But yeah, this is an interesting reading. I looked at the time and it was 1333. 1333. Group number 2. I just feel like you need to protect yourself. You need to defend yourself in some way. And I think part of that is going to be doing some emotional searching, like soul searching within yourself, doing some emotional recovery, especially if this attack was outside of you, like people coming at you about something. It really kind of shook your sense of stability. So they want you to focus on recovering that stability within yourself, and then you can deal with whatever's creating an energetic disturbance around you. And it may be about moving, because I'm seeing the 2 boats here in these cards. So this may be about moving to a new location. It's like taking up anchor. Oh, look at that. You've got boat, and an anchor. Yeah, so this could be literally moving to a new location. And as you're doing that, I think it's going to, first of all, it's going to change the energetic signature, because something about the home you're in could be off, but it's also going to give you the opportunity to purge all the things in that home that you don't need anymore. So it's like going to a fresh new home. You get rid of all the old stuff. So I think there could be something within that pile of stuff you get rid of that was holding on to some negative energy that you needed to be protected from. And this move is going to, like, if this is a move, it will help you do that, because energetically the new place will be more aligned, and also you'll have gotten rid of some of the stuff that maybe there was like old emotional attachments to. Let's say, for example, you went through a divorce or something, and you still had some stuff from that marriage. It's like that could be holding on to negative energy, and that needed to be got rid of. Or it could be like a parent died and left you something, and it was like a family heirloom that holds a lot of negative sentimental value. You know, like, you never know. So there's something about kind of like I said, checking the energy signature of your property, home, and things and people in it. But yeah, I see you packing lightly and being able to move and be more secure in a new location. It's like you won't have to be constantly on guard anymore and defending against something that you can't see. It's like it's been lurking in the shadows. It's been in the background. Yeah, it could be a portal way or something in the home. I'm getting that message. Like, portal ways can be anywhere in your house, but oftentimes they'll show up in like places we don't use that much, like the attic or the basement or like a back closet or a room that we don't use very much. The energy stagnates there, and sometimes a portal will either have been there before, like it will be there from the beginning, and that's why we don't really use that space that much, just because energetically we can feel that and it feels uncomfortable. Or it can develop there, it can like kind of open up. And portal ways, well, they're like little doors, right? So like they can let different spirits or different energies in and out, and most of those you don't want in your house. So yeah, if all else fails, just move. Okay. So that's what I see for you, group number 2. This is, a very interesting reading. Let me know how it resonates in the comments below. This is not to scare you, okay? So if this at all evoked fear for you, this is not your reading. This is for you if you already have an idea of what this might be, or you had some sort of niggling inclination, like, okay, that makes sense. I had an idea that this might be something like that, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Well, now you have the clarity you need to be able to do something about it, which could be ending a contract, or it could be getting rid of something physically, or moving. Those were really the main options I'm seeing. And also setting boundaries with people, and in your home. That's what I see. Okay, so this is meant to empower you. It's meant to help you to move out of this cycle. All right, so I hope it helps you do that. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number 3, welcome to your reading. You guys chose the banana peel, and we're going to find out what needs to be removed from your life. When I look at the banana peel, I kind of get this vibe of like Mario Kart, somebody throwing out banana peels and kind of slipping you up or slowing you down. So there could be something to do with like something that has been really just kind of preventing you from getting traction in your life is what it feels like, or moving forward. Or getting ahead. It's like something has been continuously slowing you down, and it's like you need to get that out of your way. Or you need to be aware of it so you can dodge it, or something like that. Bear, strength and resourcefulness, or resourceful. I think it's like relying on your resources to be able to avoid something. You have strength again. Wow, lion, strength and success. So the bear and the lion. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. I keep getting the energy of avoidance. Like there's something you need to avoid. And it's kind of like you need to have the strength to be able to avoid it. I'm super curious about what this is, group number 3. Whale, wisdom keeper. These are all animals, and this is not a purely animal deck, so that's really jumping out at me right away. Something about animals, working with animals. The animal spirits are protecting you, I just heard. Yeah, okay. They're protecting you. And there's something about like using your wisdom and skills to be successful so you can get ahead. It's like being resourceful so you can avoid these little pitfalls that have been causing you to slip up. Groom, husband, and marriage. Okay, the first thing that actually stood out to me was nothing to do with the actual message of this card. It was the fact that these two cards both have fireflies. So it's like fireflies lighting the way. Maybe there's like a hidden path you're not seeing, and the fireflies are kind of like spirit directing you in a way that's going to help you to avoid some kind of a conflict or a pitfall. Horse, freedom, and action. This one's also got fireflies in it too. I don't know why. They're just standing out to me. So whenever that happens, it's like it's part of the message, and spirit wants that information to be relayed. So like fireflies could literally have a message for you in the sense that like if you look up the spiritual meaning of fireflies, there could be something there. Survival, power, and the shark. Okay. So yeah, there's something here you need to avoid. Okay, they want me to move into the tarot now. There's something here they want you to avoid. I'm just going to put this actually over here. And if you can just like deke out of the way, then this thing will not harm you and it won't slow you down. King of Pentacles. I felt like that was related to the groom card. So this could be an earth sign masculine. So Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, or somebody who kind of displays these traits of being financially successful or having a money mindset as one of their predominant personality features or something like that. It's like somebody who's very practical, very grounded, very like a good work ethic, something like that. Something about the work ethic. I was kind of getting that message of like little things slipping you up and getting to your goal. So there could be somebody that they're guiding you to, or somebody who you're meant to work with, or who will teach you something directly or indirectly about being able to be free and pursue what feels good for you, but at the same time not allowing that need for freedom to kind of distract you or get you off path. It's like there's these little things that keep slowing you down, and it's reducing your power, and it's causing you to kind of, it's almost like you need this strength to combat these little temptations. It's like distractions. You need the strength to be able to focus so that you're not getting distracted. Two of Pentacles. It's like, whoops. Wow. Okay. Well, it sort of fell like that upside down. So in reverse position, this is kind of like things have been out of balance physically, financially. I keep getting this message of like you're having a hard time getting to your goal. You're having a hard time achieving success because it did hit that card, the lion. So like, let's say, for example, you've been wanting to be successful in a business or in a marriage, whatever. Like those are just two examples. But specifically, I'm getting business. I don't know why his suit just reminds me of like, I know he's like a groom, but it's reminding me of like a business suit. Success and survival. The sharks remind me of business as well. Lions remind me of business. Yeah, so I'm getting like, if you've been trying to be successful in business, it's like these little distractions that keep slowing you down, and then you're falling behind. And your soul is like, hey, this is not the way we need to do it. We actually need to change the way we're taking action. We need to sidestep some of these distractions, maybe spending too much time on social media or like watching movies, or too much money on things that don't actually produce good results. But yeah, there's something here. Yeah, Five of Pentacles, this is a money issue. This is an imbalance in your finances, and your ability to get to financial success has been impeded by these little banana peels that you keep hitting. And I don't even think that this is like energy that's thrown out by someone else. I mean, it could be, okay? But I think that it's actually more so just kind of like you are getting distracted by things, and you kind of need to cultivate this inner strength to be able to avoid going in the wrong direction or slowing yourself down. 7 of Swords, it's like self-sabotage. If this is not just coming from within, it could be somebody else, because like in Mario Kart, which was the first example that came up, somebody in front of you has to throw out that banana peel for it to slow you down. And 7 of Swords can be like sabotage, somebody quite literally trying to disarm you or slow you down or cause you to lose. So somebody could be impeding your actions. They could be slowing you down. It could be somebody who's in competition with you. The shark is reminding me of, it's like the red ocean business theory versus blue ocean. Red ocean is like there's so much competition that the water gets filled with blood because everybody's like ripping each other apart. Whereas blue ocean is creating an idea or a product or something that there's very low competition because it's probably never been done before, or at least not in that way. So something to do with that. And you're needing to figure out a way to get out of this pattern or this cycle. It does feel like a cycle. The Hanged Cat. Yeah, it's like being immobilized. The Hanged Cat is like being immobilized. So there's something here that has been tripping you up, getting you stuck. And it's been slowing down your progress pretty majorly. What is this, Spirit? The Empress? Okay. In the higher expression, the Empress is like abundance and creativity and being able to rely on that creativity because you can just create whatever you want and you have more than enough. In the lower expression, what they actually showed me was the Empress like lounging around doing nothing. So this could be procrastination. And I think some of that, I'm getting like imposter syndrome. I'm getting fear of failure. I'm getting like fear of like not having enough money or not having enough resources. Fear of investing in your creative projects or whatever this is. And that's why it's like this is requiring you to have a lot of strength and to overcome these survival fears or these power imbalances within yourself or in perceived competition. And this is really challenging you to step into a whole new level of embodiment and challenge any imposter syndrome that you might have of stepping into this new level of self and the responsibility that comes with that. It's like taking responsibility. I think that the avoidance, because that's what it feels like, avoidance of taking responsibility is actually what's causing you to spin out. That's the banana peel. It is a self-sabotage mechanism. And when I said that, it came out self-sob. So it's like your sob story, maybe. It's maybe you're feeling bad for yourself or like self-defeatist is kind of what it feels like. And that's why it's like they're really calling you to have courage here and to have strength and to be resourceful because you can achieve success. You have the wisdom deep within you. You just kind of have to be willing to take action and do it in an empowered way where you're not allowing these self-sabotaging things to throw you off track. It's like, don't believe the story that your mind is telling you. That's what they just said. Don't believe the story that your mind is telling you. So if your mind is telling you it can't be done, there's too much competition, I don't have the resources, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough time, what else? Nobody's going to support me. Nobody wants to buy my product. Nobody wants to work with me. I'm not super creative. Like my ideas suck. Don't listen. Group number 3. Throw that shit out. Okay. Cause that's not true. And your mind is trying to like throw these banana peels out at you to slow you down because it's afraid of moving forward. It's just afraid of the unknown. It's afraid of moving into unknown territory where you've never really been before. But, success is there. You can do that. It's just maybe your mind is afraid of both success and failure, and you kind of need to address that. So creating internal security is going to be important here, creating internal balance and a firm foundation you can stand on. That's going to help a lot to get you to your goal. 3 of Cups on the bottom. I think working with the right people who can support you, who can like spot these things and actually help you get ahead, is going to be helpful as well. And getting rid of any people who maybe contribute to your fears or exacerbate them, or who sabotage you overtly or covertly. It's like having the right people around you is going to be really important. Yeah, who's in your circle? Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Who's in your circle? You want to make sure that you're swimming with the right people, because the wrong people will slow you down and the right people will speed you up and support you in doing that in a healthy way. Yeah, I feel like there's some things from the past. It's like the veneer is starting to wear off. The wallpaper is peeling off the walls here. It's like something that was covered up is being revealed. And you're finally kind of seeing it for what it is. And you're like, oh, that's what's wrong. That's why this hasn't been working. And it's not able to kind of lurk in the background anymore. You're going to gain the awareness of it, the wisdom of it. And then you're going to be able to keep going. I keep seeing like just keep swimming. I was getting that when I was looking at the whale, but the shark can also talk about that too. Like they need to keep swimming to survive. So it's like, just don't stop, you know, even if you're slowed down by something, even if you're facing up against some of your own internal negative narratives, or if you feel like things are moving at like a glacial pace. By all means, Andrea, move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me. It's like the devil wears Prada. Yeah, if you feel like it's really hard for you to get ahead, you know, there's a reason that reference must have just come up, because in that movie, Andrea is feeling really bad for herself. She doesn't like what she's doing, but she's doing it because it's kind of like a stepping stone into what she wants to do. And at one point in the movie, she's like, she gets called out or like reamed out by her boss, and then she goes and she complains to Nigel, and she's crying, and she's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I can't, if I do something right, I get no praise. If I do something wrong, I get like shit blown out of proportion. And Nigel, who she's talking to, he's like, oh, poor you, like a million girls would kill for this job and you just deign to work here. You know, it's like, you're not even trying. You think you're trying, but if you really cared, you would try harder. And then she does, and she gets really good at her job, but then she realizes she doesn't want to do that forever, and she goes with her integrity. So there's something about that here in this reading for you, group number 3. It's kind of like you need to address how you're doing something. Are you giving it your all, or are you unconsciously kind of dragging your feet about this? Is there something about it that you're not fully in with? You know, are you all in, or are you not all in? And you need to find the areas where you're not all in that are causing this self-sabotage, and maybe where you're even like kind of like playing your own tiny violin for yourself and saying, you know, like, oh, it can't be done, and like it's all, woe is me, the world is against me. And it's like, no, you gotta kind of like sack up here and do your due diligence and like pay your dues kind of thing, and like not give up and just keep going and refuse to quit, because that is where you're going to succeed. If you just refuse to quit, if you have the courage to face all of these things that keep kind of slowing you down or slipping you up, you're going to succeed. Okay? So it's a bit of tough love here in this reading. Sorry if it's triggering. Just, you know, deal with it as best you can. But it's like, this is going to help you to take more aligned action. It's going to help you to get off your butt and actually do this and feel good about yourself. So you're not feeling like, oh, I can't do it and I suck, and or on the other side of that equation, feeling entitled, like, well, I've done a little bit of work, I should have these results, why don't I? And then feeling crappy about that. It's you just doing it because you can and because you want to, and not letting anything get in your way, and not giving up. Have the strength to adapt, have the strength to be resourceful, have the strength to face your triggers and your fears and your doubts, and maybe even the shadow sides, right? Like the fears, the doubts, the self-sabotage, even the entitlement, something like that. Have the courage to face all of those things. Just keep going. Take inspired action and don't give up, and you will succeed. Surround yourself with the right people too. Make sure you're in the right arenas, because yeah, you become like the people you hang out with the most, you know? So take a look around and be really, really discerning about who you allow into your space, physically or mentally. Okay. Yeah. So take out that trash, group 3. It's time to go. Chuck out that banana peel. It doesn't need to be there anymore. So I hope this reading was helpful. If it was triggering, I'm sorry, but I hope that it actually shows you where the pain points are, because that's what triggers do. Triggers are resonance. Not all resonance is, oh, this feels so good for me. Sometimes triggers are, oh, I didn't realize there was a wound there and I need to own that. I need to take responsibility for that. I need to deal with it. So if you get triggered, good. That means you can heal it and you can bring awareness to it. So embrace the triggers. I love you guys. I hope this reading was helpful in some way, shape, or form. If it resonates, either positively or negatively, take it, run with it. You got this. You'll be successful. I'm rooting for you guys. Rootin' tootin' cowboys. Anyway, love you guys, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.